Part 2. Verdant Wind. Great Tree Moon. Blood of the Eagle and Lion. Now in control of the Great Bridge of Myrddin, the Alliance army invades the Imperial territories. In response, the Imperial army garrisons soldiers at Fort Merceus.
All of that went about as well as it could have. Each lord has agreed to provide us with soldiers and supplies.
I'm impressed you were able to convince all of those scattered nobles to help us. I thought they would quarrel about how much support they should each provide. That's what they usually do.
Well, Count Gloucester took the initiative in taking on responsibilities. I presume that was because you spoke with him in advance, Lawrence.
I merely explained the situation at hand. Then my father simply followed your lead, Claude. It was because you had the professor there to represent Lady Rhea. My father is a pious follower of the Church of Seiros.
I don't doubt it. I wasn't under the delusion that it was my personal charm that unified everyone. Thanks for that, by the way. I hope you don't feel like I used you, because I sort of used you. I appreciate that. We don't have time to be picky about our methods. But be honest, you're having a hard time adjusting to your new role, aren't you? You weren't even a follower of Seiros to begin with, and somehow you've ended up as a representative of the Church. I realize that you might feel guilty about deceiving the believers for our cause. But this is just what the Archbishop wanted, and she's the highest authority in the Church. Besides, as wielder of the Sword of the Creator, it's undeniable that you're special. I think you should be more confident in yourself and use your position to the fullest.
I have a report from our spies. The enemy is currently gathering troops at Fort Merceus. Based on the size of their army, they must be under the command of a renowned general. Or even...
Well now, that would be interesting. If we can defeat the Emperor, then the Empire will collapse.
There's something else. An unidentified army has approached the Great Bridge of Myrddin. They passed through the Daphne and Gloucester territories from the northwest with incredible speed. They're raising the banner of House Blaiddyd. Perhaps they are the remnants of the Fargus royal family. From what we could tell, they posed no threat to the citizens of the Alliance, and so we refrained from engaging them in needless combat.
Maybe they hope to fight against the Empire to avenge their fallen prince. And what about the bridge itself?
Obviously, we wouldn't let them pass without receiving envoys first. We thought they may try to force their way through. We considered firing warning arrows, but they left immediately, heading east.
Are they intending to use one of the bridges in Ordelia territory?
Most likely. But the Imperial Army still controls those bridges. I can't imagine what they intend to do in the Empire, even if they do manage to break through.
I'm reluctant to ease up on our surveillance, but it would be difficult to track them there. For now, let's assume they're just troops belonging to the Old Kingdom. In any case, we should proceed with caution. Soon we'll be entering Empire territory ourselves. If our enemies are going to intercept us with an attack, it will probably be at Gronder Field. How fitting that it was the site of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion 5 years ago.
Hey.
My secret is hard work.
Not bad.
It's like this. I'm a graduate of the Golden Deer House, but that was a little before your time, Professor. We won the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Of course, we mostly have Holst to thank for that. And now he's the greatest general in the Alliance. I didn't do so great in comparison.
Professor, we might see Edelgard herself leading the enemy in the next battle. If they're coming out of Fort Merceus, our troops might even clash on Gronder Field. And those other troops on the march. Who knows what they'll do, or what side they'll take. Not sure how we're supposed to form a strategy with so many unknowns. Hey, how come you only ever flatter me in times like these? What am I supposed to make of that? Anyway, we've come this far. Let's just keep putting one foot in front of the other and see how far we get. Hi there!
Pardon me.
Claude was saying that our next battle might be in Gronder Field. Is that right? Reminds me of the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. But of course, that was a very different time. When it was over, all three class heads complimented each other on their bravery. And then we had a party. But we can never go back to that, can we?
I hardly believe we're crossing the borders of the Empire to battle their army. Never thought I'd see the day. You'd never guess from the calm looks on everyone's faces, though. I mean, we're probably all gonna die, let's be honest. If you don't mind me saying, you don't look like you're in the middle of a crisis either. Oh, perhaps that was a little rude of me? Actually, it's the Great Tree Moon now, isn't it? Not that anyone's in much of a mood to celebrate the new year, of course.
Okay.
I gotta say, it's tough to keep the fighting spirit alive when you recognize your enemies on the battlefield. So you can't avoid it, huh? How did everything get so messed up? Just because we're fighting someone doesn't mean we gotta hate them. That's probably the worst thing about war. Win or lose, I still get a bad taste in my mouth.
Lady Rhea, I've got to keep this place clean, and I mean properly clean, every day. Dust it, sweep it, everything. You never can tell when Lady Rhea might be back.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I hear we're sending troops to Gronder Field next. Is that what's what? That whole area is in the territory of House Burgleys. It's famous as the main granary of Fodlan. If we could capture it, we probably wouldn't have to worry about food anymore. Bread for all.
Really now? There's unrest everywhere these days. I hope things go back to... Hey, how about a favor?
Hey, welcome. Come again.
Hello!
Will this one do? It's all. Will this one do? It's all yours. Take it. Will this one do? It's all yours. Take it. Will this one do? It's all. Will this one do? It's all. Will this one? It's all. Will this one do? It's all. Will this? It's all yours. Take. Will this one do? It's. Will this one? It's all yours. Tell your friends.
A moment, please. Since you secured the Great Bridge of Merden, trade got a lot easier within the Empire. Nevertheless, profits are rather thin compared to how it was 5 years ago. You can't be much of a trader unless you're prepared to traverse the whole of Fodlan.
Welcome. Come back soon.
Hey there. Is this it? There you go. 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 Come back anytime.
Okay.
I've cut all contact with my family since joining this fight. Were I to see soldiers of the Galatea family amidst the host flying the royal family's banner, well, all chance of reconciliation with my father would end there. I do not know if that is the right path, but the fact is, I've come this far. There's no time for second guessing. Not anymore. I've cut all but the fact is...
Edelgard's presence suggests that Hubert is around too. He is Minister of the Imperial Household, after all. He's been around Edelgard since they were children. I suppose he must be pretty happy with his current position.
Hello.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Professor!
Since Little Claude became their leader, the Alliance Lords haven't been especially unified. Now they're suddenly united for a common cause. As a result, the Empire hasn't been able to perform even one successful incursion. Rather, we're the ones who might get the jump on them. It's incredible. Magical, even. Maybe his strategic genius was simmering for those 5 years, and it returned to a full boil once you two were reunited. Or maybe he always knew he'd meet you again, and he was preparing for that this whole time.
Professor!
Thanks to our victory, I've been able to study the Great Bridge of Myrddin at my leisure. And you know what? It's an astounding structure. So much history there. Imagine how much time and effort it must have taken to build something that big. Over water, no less. I hope that someday it will be opened up to the people of Fodlan, a historical site, rather than a military checkpoint.
We captured the Great Bridge of Myrddin, but the fight has only just begun. Enbar, the Imperial capital, lies far to the south beyond Gronder Field. And waiting for us on the way there is the entire Imperial army, with twice as many troops as us. We had better brace ourselves.
Professor, the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. Has it truly been 5 years since then? Can you recall whether it was before or after I joined your class, Professor? I am glad you have not forgotten. It was shortly after I joined your class. I remember it like it was yesterday.
This won't do. I seem to lack the skills required to grieve for the dead. If someone has passed, even someone dear to me,
I could stand about and wail or get on with my life. While I'm at it, that whole idea that we must speak well of the dead, I don't understand that either. If I didn't like them when they were alive, then why pretend to do so when they are no longer here?
So, we're finally moving into enemy territory. We can expect the war to get even more intense from here on out. I'm really feeling the tension now. I have almost no experience with battles of this scale. Professor, I'll be grateful for your leadership on the battlefield. I know I can trust you.
I heard that some unidentified troops have appeared, but apparently they were flying the flag of the Fargus royal family. Do you think it was Dimitri's ghost? His country was taken before he ever wore the crown. Surely he must regret that.
Claude seems filled with confidence, but I wonder if everything really will be okay. The Imperial Army might be hiding the Emperor, and the troops headed south might belong to the Old Kingdom. I'll be honest, I'm incredibly uneasy about all of this. But at this point, there's no option but to move forward.
I trust you and Claude, but I feel uneasy. If we lose in the next battle, the Empire's army will likely come surging into Alliance territory. If that happens, my parents won't escape unharmed. They've raised their anti-Imperial flag after all. Thank you, Professor. I'll fight with all I've got to. Speaking with you has eased my mind a bit. Just enough, in fact, to put me in the mood for sweets.
Something else. House Gloucester has changed its allegiance and joined the faction that is against the Empire. The Alliance will thus remain united. But thanks to this latest ploy, my father is more suspicious of Claude now than ever, if such a thing is possible. Ordinarily, I might credit his helpful posture toward us to his devout faith in the Church of Seros. But it is clear to me now that this is nothing more than a shrewd calculation on his part. He is only thinking of his position. We are in the clear for now, but please bear in mind that the Alliance is never an entirely stable union.
Each time we press forward, our search for Rhea broadens to a wider area. I certainly hope we will find at least some clue. I do suspect I already know where she is. If I'm right, and she is in the Imperial capital, then we cannot save her until we topple the Empire.
Hey there. We secured the win in our first skirmish, but the next battle is a different matter. The Empire will come after us with everything it's got. Even so, the ultimate victory will be ours. And I'm not just saying that. I've made ample preparations to ensure our victory. It's my rule to never leave victory to chance. You can't rely on the protection of the goddess. With your power and my schemes, I should be able to plot a direct course to victory.
If
this mysterious military force is the remnants of the kingdom, you'd think there would have been the possibility of a united front. But from what I've heard, that's going to be difficult. Their behavior is very erratic. If they're clamoring for revenge and death, then it's probably better if we have nothing to do with them.
Hey there.
So, we're finally invading Empire territory, huh? There's not much we can do right now, except pray for deliverance. I truly believe that we have it in us to succeed.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. The Great Tree Moon is finally upon us. It's time to celebrate a new year. We only get so many. Folks up top don't seem to be in the mood to celebrate, though. I hate war.
Hey there. I hurt my leg in the last battle. Had to take shelter down here. Nowhere else to go. Be careful up there. All sides are bringing their strongest people to this fight. Count Burgleys in the Empire, Lord Holst in the Alliance. I'm sure the Kingdom's got someone too.
It seems the Alliance has avoided becoming nothing but a glorified battlefield. I may have cut ties with my family, but I'll admit, I'm still worried about how they're faring. For now, at least, my little bro has managed to keep them afloat. He's a good leader, that one.
That's so. What a pain. What an absolute pain. Concerned, are you? That's nice. A little too nice. Here's a word of warning. If anyone here asks you for a favor, it's probably just a scam.
Hello. I used to be a rather important person in the church, but I am in exile for committing a crime. I embezzled some money, but it wasn't out of greed. My hometown was pillaged, you see, and the church wasn't putting in enough to rebuild.
Professor! Across the bridge is Burgleys territory. It marks the start of our incursion into the Empire. Worry not. I feel no trepidation as we do this. Mark how my spellcraft carries us through to Envar, heart of the Empire.
We're fighting people we used to know from the Officers' Academy. Guess that's the kind of thing that happens in war, but still, it's pretty twisted. It makes me feel so... Ugh. Maybe I'll just try not to think about it.
Friend, my rule is never to play my hand if I can't win. That's why I'm here. To win. This is my life on the line. Don't let me down, yeah? In the end, I'm the one who decided to be a part of this. So it's my own fault if things go south.
I am grateful.
Thank you.
My thanks.
Oh, wow, thanks.
I thank you.
Professor.
Thanks. I'm glad I asked you.
Whenever I eat with you, Lawrence, I always feel like I have to mind my manners. It's awful.
Good. You should mind your manners even when I am not watching. You are a noble after all.
The flavor is nostalgic to me for some reason. I'd like some more.
My favorite meal at my